Back-to-back Rose Bowl wins of Final Four berth, Big Ten titles, star athletes. The last 20 years have been pretty successful for the Wisconsin Badgers on the gridiron and on the court. And Badgers play-by-play man Matt Lepay has been there for all of them. He's joining us this morning to tell us about his new book, Why Not Wisconsin? From Barry to Bow, broadcasting the Badgers from the best seat in the house. You do have the best seat in the house.
Yeah, might be the longest book title in the history of long book titles.
So
I usually stop at Why Not Wisconsin. The rest of it, it's like, okay, we're now at page 6. But yeah, it was a fun project.
You've been here a long time, and we worked at WTSO for a while. You were doing sports, and it was like, there's Matt Lepay. But you've been here since like day one with Barry and all that. And
yeah.
You've seen everything.
Yeah,
the good days and the bad days.
Yeah, I did. I arrived in 1988, and that was kind of the low point of the bad days for Badger football. The anger turned to apathy. There were a lot of empty seats at Camp Randall Stadium. It was too bad because there were some very good players back in those days. There just weren't enough of them. And then Barry Alvarez arrived in 1990, and everything started to change. I think people knew Rob when he got here, or at least had a lot of confidence that things were going to change. I'm not sure many people dreamed that they would have the success that they had as soon as they had it winning the Big Ten in 1993.
You and I grew up in a time when, and there are great sportscasters and radio personalities now, but back in the day, there were some great ones. I grew up with some wonderful, Ken Coleman in Cleveland, and you grew up listening to Al Michaels, and you got the itch early, as an early age, to be in broadcasting.
Yeah, I did. As I write in the book, my lack of athletic ability maybe helped to accelerate things and getting into this business. But yeah, my first memories as a young kid growing up listening to games on the radio, since I grew up a diehard Cincinnati Reds fans, and Al Michaels, before he became famous on a much bigger stage, was the radio voice of the Cincinnati Reds, and then Marty Brennaman followed him, and he is their Bob Uecker. He's been there since 1974, I want to say 73, 74, and those are the two guys who really inspired me, if that's the right word, to get into this racket, to get into play-by-play announcing. So either I credit them or I blame them, depending on the day of the week.
To me, it's a real craft. It's an art to be able to broadcast a game, especially on radio, where you really have to paint that picture with excitement and all that. Do you look at it that way? Well,
yeah, and it's maybe a little bit of a lost art now with so many games being on television as well, or it can be a lost art if you let it. What I try to tell younger broadcasters now, I'm an old guy now, I guess I can say it this way, is that the style is subjective. You know, there are the Gus Johnsons, and that's a style that works very well for him. There's Jim Nantz, that style, which is a lot different, works very well for him. But for radio, you better have the mechanics. What's the score? How much time is left? Where's the ball? In baseball, what score is it? What inning is it? What's the count? And then everything else you develop on your own, your personality. But if you don't have the basics, then you're probably going to struggle.
He's to the 25, cuts right, Dane to the 30, 35, Dane across the 40, Dane across the 45-yard line, and there it is. Ron Dane has become the NCAA's all-time career rushing leader.
Would you say that the highlight of the football Badgers would be Ron Dane, that run that day?
Yeah, I think a lot of people still, if you were to ask the trivia question, what's the only Big Ten team to win the Rose Bowl in consecutive years, I think a lot of people might say Ohio State or Michigan. It's Wisconsin. So those 2 years, 1998-99, those 2 seasons, they have to be the highlight. In the day that Ron broke the NCAA rushing record in '99, it was a perfect day. The weather was ridiculous, mid-November, almost 70 degrees. All the hype that surrounded that game, that's a moment that is going to be pretty tough to top. For their sake, I hope they can, but it's going to be tough to top it.
Well, man, I want to thank you for stopping by.
My
Good luck
pleasure.
with the book. Keep broadcasting. You're one of the best, believe me.
Checks in the mail. Appreciate it.
Why Not Wisconsin is available in bookstores right now. Oh, look at that shot on the cover. That's worth it, right?
Face for radio right there, Rob.
We'll be right back.